Petals. It is the title of a recent exhibition of a British architect, David Chipperfield. The title itself had a great response on me because that has been the goal for my ceramics ever since I have started my own work. After finishing my degree from Alfred in 1961, I came back to Korea and started studying e-ceramics at the National Museum of Korea. I was thrilled by what Bernard Leach said about e-ceramics. In one of the seminars at Alfred, he declared that all of us must aim to reach the realm of beauty of e-ceramics. During 3 years of my study at the National Museum of Korea, I have constantly asked myself, what is the essence of e-ceramics that Leach admired so highly? I came to a brief conclusion that they all have a simple, clear form. They lack of any kind of artificial traits. They do not oppose the material quality, always adapting the process to the material itself, the clay. As I studied more, I have found that the unique aesthetics of e-ceramics can be essentialized in their forms. A sense of ease, harmony, and humbleness. Each details never dominate alone. They rather harmonize each other related to the main body. They did not mind about being imperfect. Symmetrical or not, they still have the balance. They give the natural birth of product as if they were born, not made. Can be categorized as vessel form, ritual wear, lidded form, standing form, and object. I would briefly demonstrate steps of making rectangular bowl, asymmetrical vessel, and standing form, focusing on their formal characteristics. It is one of my favorite forms that I keep producing in many variety of proportions and contour lines. They begin with a thrown cylinder open to the required angle of the contour. Throwing is the most ancient, efficient, and flexible technique that offers all the possible form for my work. When I look at it, I dream of reaching to the high sky with two arms wide open toward the heaven. The first step is altering the round shape into a square one by paddling. While paddling, I try to concentrate all directions of pressure toward the center of the vessel. It needs to avoid undesirable stress which might cause cracking of the vessel for drying and firing. My favorite paddle that I use all the time is the one from Jeju Island in Korea, where local girls used them for laundry in the past. They would never imagine that someone has been using it for all her life as I am. Then I would trim off the upper shape of the bowl. I facet mostly with a thin blade of knife, specially made by ironsmith. It is a coarse-grained iron which does not stick to the still moist clay. It is a crucial step to determine the size and height of the food because it gives a great difference to the overall form. The food itself could be sculptural. It is typical characteristic for Yi porcelain to have rather wide and tall food compared to Chinese and Japanese. Then I have to paddle around the bowl to finalize a finished look of rectangular form. Same as the rectangular bowl, it also begins with altering a cylinder into square one. The proportion of the length and width for rectangular shape must be calculated for the different purposes, for individual pieces and for groups. For groups, I also have to plan on the variation of heights. Cutting off two triangular corners at lengthwise and closing them by patching together results in an asymmetrical form. These hand-carved wooden thumbs function just like a thread and needle for the sewing. Faceting of these pieces reveals many different characters of clay's self. It seems to give me a feeling of softness and sharpness, warmth and coldness, time and rhythm, as if it is a trace of our lives. These facets always come in different shapes, sizes, interplaying between light and shadow. As my faceting goes on, the flakes of facet piles high. When I look at them, I feel relieved from unnecessary worries of my life. A few years back, one of the photographers told me how hard to take pictures of unique expression of facets. He told me they look dramatically different depending on lighting and surroundings. I prefer to produce a series of these asymmetrical vessels to have them communicate each other. It represents the uncertainty and the dynamics of our lives. When they are placed in a series, they give energy to each other, collectively gaining an increased harmony. To obtain one tall cylinder, sometimes I have to stack 3 thrown pieces to be measured up to my height. The important point in this throwing is to maintain the even thickness of the wall so that I can stretch from inside out and also beating from outside. And this will be roughly shaped into the form of the maquette, then of course has to be waited until little dry condition. Before I work on standing forms, I make a series of maquettes to form a family of a different kind. I always look for some usage of my work. In this case, I have made small holes penetrating from inside, and in the LA show this time, it was installed like a lamp. So it is standing form of light. Each piece has its own individual presence, yet when placed together, they gain a totally different perspective, just like an infinite terrains of a mountain.